basement, you convince yourself that it's one of my quirks again. Too high, keeping shoes.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, welcome if you're new. Today we are starting a new vlog. And I don't know exactly how this is going to work. So, I have recently started a couple of series on my channel, where I have asked my friends to recommend me a series, or it could be like a companion series if it's contemporary, or a specific author that has released some books that I've not read yet that I think I might enjoy. So I started with Gem with F.T. Lukens, and I'm now moving on to Smash. So, as you can see, this is Readalongs I, Sarah J Maas, one of, if not Smash's favourite series. I've not yet read in its entirety. I have read Readalongs I before, I have read Assassin's Blade before. Yes, I know, don't at me, I read them in the wrong order, but I am now going to be reading them in the right order. The reason why this vlog is going to be a little bit different is because I am going to be reading this series along with the Maas along, which is being hosted by Tori at Scottish Lost Reads and Ash from Ash's Bookstores Life. I will leave them both linked down below, which obviously means that they're only going to be reading a book a month. So this particular my friend made me do it kind of thing is going to span over the length of the Maas along. Whether or not I will see how much footage I have for my thoughts on this book. It could just be that like I do a vlog reading 2 books and then another 2 books and then whatever, I don't know. I'm going to try and do the tandem read. I forget the names of the books, but there's a tandem read for 2 of the books, and they're doing that in January, February. I'm going to try and attempt that, so obviously that will be all in one vlog. But yeah, Smashes is going to go over a few vlogs. They are going to be spoiler filled. I'm probably one of the last people to read this series, and I'm so behind. So yeah, like I said, I have read this one before, but it's been a while and I'm now reading it in the correct order. All I know is that it's Selena, assassin, one of the best assassins around. She's 19, stuff's gone down in her life, she's not had the best life, and just, yeah, she ends up in a camp, something, yeah, and then, is it someone called Cole, what is it? There's some people in here that people really like, as the series goes on. I did, see, this is how I'm blanking. There's a, Selena said off the end, blah, 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 Captain of the Guard. I'm sure there's a thing between the Captain of the Guard and her, some kind of tension. I don't know, I can't remember. We're going to go through it, but I'm going to start this. I'm going to read the audio alongside one of my brand new physical copies. I finally got the hardbacks. So happy, so happy. So yeah, that's going to be this vlog, and it could just be that I read this one. I think it's this one, then Air of Fire is second, and then we have to go back to read Assassin's Blade. Question mark? We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, that is the intro for this vlog. And I will come back to you when I have some thoughts, feelings and ponderances around Ms. Sarah J Maas. Because, yeah. I am going to say though, like, these are all going to be spoiler-filled vlogs. I have already done spoiler-filled vlogs of the ACOTAR series. I think all of the ACOTAR series books. I can't remember, but any that I haven't done videos for, I will be filling in the blanks. As you can tell, I keep up with the series of videos that I start doing. I'm totally professional with this malarkey. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to go and finish editing this week's vlog. Then I'm going to go into Readalongs I and I'll come back with updates. Hey, I am now on chapter 10 of Readalongs I, and it's just really good to be back with Selena and meeting Kale and Darian for the first time all over again. I'm really enjoying that. Now that I'm reading it again, I am remembering a little bits that happened later on in the book, but Kale, It's like he has to be the big broody grumpy one, and I'm just like, just drop the act. It's like, yeah, she's a criminal, but you know, don't be such a judgy boss. Don't be such a judgy fucker. Do you know what I mean? She didn't choose that life willingly. It was thrust upon her. Anyway, he's very judgy, but he's very mysterious, and I know that there's like a debate over who you're supposed to like and who you're not supposed to like. I don't fully remember what the debate is, but I kind of like Kale, but I rather remember there's some kind of affection I'm not going to call it a love triangle because it's not really love, but there's kind of like an affection triangle between Kale, Dorian and Selena, I think. And if I remember rightly, it's something that I didn't particularly like it the last time I read it, but I'm just not a fan of love triangle-y things anyway. I don't fully see the point in them, but I do know that, spoiler for Akata, I'm going to put a spoiler here, I know she does love interest swap in Akata, but I can't remember if it's mentioned that she does it in this series. Spoilers over for Akata, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I can now see why people would want to read this before reading Assassin's Blade, even though Assassin's Blade is technically the prequel, because I think this gives you a more rounded idea of what Selena is like now, because she was a little bit spoiled in Assassin's Blade, not gonna lie. Or she came across as like, I'm the most amazing assassin in the world, but I didn't see any of these assassin qualities. But I love how sassy Selena is. I love the little bit of like snippy back and forth between her and Kale, and I think, yeah, at the moment I'm feeling some kind of, she's obviously attracted to Dorian, and Dorian's got this issue with his dad. But it's just like little bits like that that's all like triggering certain memories, but I still can't remember exactly what happens later on in the book, which is good because some things might surprise me, but I still can't remember if I cried at this last time either. But we'll see. I'm enjoying it so far. Hi guys, I've continued with Throne of Glass. We're on Wednesday and I'm just about to go to bed, but I've read a couple more chapters of this. I forgot about this, how I really enjoy this snipping between Kale and Selena, and how very quickly he sort of sees that her snipping really is sort of like she masks a lot, and like when she was scared about going to see the king, he comforted her in a sort of like very standoffish way, but he still did. And the way that Dorian sort of like I forgot that she wasn't allowed to say who she was before the games, before the trials or the tests, whatever you want to call them, and that she has to pretend to be like a lady of the court and wear stuff that she's not used to. I still don't know whether I should read Assassin's Blade before this, because yes, initially Assassin's Blade made me feel a certain kind of way towards Selena, but it's chronologically the right way to read it rather than how it was published. And she did write those short stories before she wrote this, as far as I remember. Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely do feel that the Selena in this is better than the Selena that we see in Assassin's Blade, which is going to be very strange to then read this Heir of Fire and then go back and read Assassin's Blade when I really didn't like Selena in that. I don't know, it's very strange for me to think of it like that way, but anyway, that's by the by. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm enjoying being back with Selena and Kale and Dorian. But the more that I read this and like I'm reminded of bits that happen, I'm still very much a Kale fan. Is that wrong? I'm sorry. Maybe we're gonna find out something I can't remember if there's a reason why I shouldn't like him. I genuinely can't remember. But at the moment, I just like that he's grumpy. And she's not sunshine, but she's sassy. So, yeah. I'm gonna go to bed now because I'm tired. And I've had a long day. So I will see you when I next read some more. I'm currently on chapter 17 and it's very easy to forget like the little things, like the conversation she has with Kale about what happened in Dovia. And it's shocking. I mean, I know that I've read it before, but like I said, like, you only remember like the main plot points, don't you? And the main massive things, like the reveals and stuff that happen. Those are the kind of things you remember. But like meeting Knox, I forgot about him. And the more I think about it, I can't remember how this ends. But I don't trust Knox, but I can't remember if he ends up being one of those ones that pretends to be nice and ends up stabbing her in the back, or whether he actually ends up really helping her. And whether, like her, he is pretending to be less talented than he actually is. I can't remember. It's really bugging me, and I want to skip to the end and just find out what happens, but obviously I can't do that because that's just stupid. I'm really enjoying it though. It's just, I still really like Kale, and I don't know if I'm supposed to. He's just grumpy, and yeah, he's just mental, but he's just, you can tell that he's also been through a lot, and he's been through some stuff that maybe not, obviously not as bad as Selena has, but yeah, I feel like people just need to give him a bit of a break. I suppose I think Dorian's just too cheesy. I'm not a fan of Dorian, but I don't know. It's stressing me out that this series is so long and that we're not going to get to the end anytime soon, because I just want everyone to have a happy ending, but I know that's probably not going to be the case. And as far as I'm aware, like I said, I think the love interest kind of changes or switches. So at the moment, it's kind of gearing towards Kale and Selena having a bit of a thing. You know, they're starting to warm to each other, they're starting to, you know, that kind of thing. And then Dorian, he's just being a bit cheeky, but he's cheeky with everybody, and he has like many courtesans and like ladies that he spends time with. So I don't know, but I feel like, if I remember rightly, she goes for Dorian, but for a reason. And I can't remember. It's really bugging me that I can't remember what happens. But obviously I'm going to read it, so we can find out. I've got 4 hours and 30 minutes left. I'm going to try and get it finished this weekend. Wish me luck. I forgot about the bit where they're doing the trial and like Knox's string, like rope is getting cut, and she like does the whole running across the gargoyles and jumping off. Do you know what? I could just imagine that in my brain. In my brain, it's like one of those stunts that's just like, oh, I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like a Mission Impossible style, where it's like do do do, tie the rope round, and then he's just like, and then he's like do do as they jump off the thing. Like, do you know what I mean? In my head, it's playing out like an action scene, and it's so good. I forgot about that bit. How am I forgetting all this stuff that's just really interesting and just like adds to the overall plot? How did I forget all of these bits? I'm really annoyed though if she saves Knox's life, because obviously I've got to the part where she jumps off. I don't know if she saves him or not yet, because like I said, I forgot what happened to him. But if she saves him and then he goes out and betrays her, I'll like finagle something, like, I don't know, then I'm gonna be seriously annoyed. And I'll be like, yeah, she should have let him die. But also Dorian and Selena's kind of like attraction, and the whole bit with her playing the piano thing, and the bit where she mentions Sam died. I cried in Assassin's Blade when I first read that. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Also forgot about the mauling and the killings. It reminds me a bit of like the Nevernight situation where like where the assassins are like dying. Obviously Nevernight came out after this, but again forgot that the whole like assassins are being killed off, but not just being killed off, they're being mauled. Like what's mauling them? Ignore the hair. It's a mess. We all know this. You're used to it by now. But who was mauling them? That's the question. Hello. Very different setup right now. Sorry if you can hear him beeping and microwaves and whatnot. I'm at Ed's house. He's gone bingo. And I'm not in the mood for bingo tonight, so I'm staying home and I'm reading Throne of Glass, and I forgot that she's pointed out that there's these like words. I've literally just listened to it. What was it? These like words that she knows. She says to Nahima says to Selena, "You're more than you think. You're more than you're letting on," and like hinting that she is something different. But I think it's not just a case of that she's an assassin and she knows. I think there's something about Selena that Selena doesn't know about herself. Because obviously we still don't know Selena's story about what happened when she was a child. We just know it from when she was like taken on as an assassin in like onwards. So is there something about her heritage that's different? Is there something going on? Like, is she actually? Because I've not gone into look at this. I've not seen any spoilers. Obviously, I heard a bit about like K.O. and like love triangle, this situation, whatever. But I've not heard anything. I've not even looked for spoilers, anything past that. But I do know Becca in the Books did a video about are the Throne of Glass, like are Sarah J Maas's series linked? And obviously that sort of like triggered something in my brain, made me think, are they linked? So could she be Faye? As obviously, until I've read the full Throne of Glass series, I'm not going to watch that video. That video that she did ages ago, when Crescent City first came out, is still almost safe to watch later, because I do still want to watch it and I want to see her theories, but I don't want to spoil the Throne of Glass. So for me, like, is Selena a Fae, but doesn't know it? I genuinely can't remember if anything comes to light at the back end of this book, and it's stressing me out. But I'm going to go and read it and eat my Wagamamas that I got. Well, the Wagamama type, the food that I got from Sainsbury's. I will see you in it. I don't know if this is any correlation to Selena, but as soon as I mentioned Faye, it came up. She's just gone in to the tunnels and found like pictures, paintings of some Fae. Don't know what the relationship is between her and this Fae, if there is one, or what part they have to play in this whole thing. But Fae have been mentioned, and again, how the hell did I forget all of this? Clearly, I wasn't paying attention the first time I read this book. Dream, wasn't it a dream? The door is open, but she thought she was dreaming. She has the talisman thing in her hand that's going to protect her. But what's this bad thing that wants her to fail? Like, who's guided her to see Elena? Like, Elena isn't dead, but she isn't alive. She's kind of like, there's a portal somewhere, and oh my god, what's going on? The gargoyles are like the watchmen, like the bad things. Like, there was growling. And growling. Not in a good way either. In a like, something evil's gonna get you kind of way. And yes, ignore the state that I'm in. I'm relaxing on the sofa while I read. We've now getting more information on word marks, that's what they're called. Word marks. It's all very interesting. And I'm really annoyed with myself that I forgot all of this. And it's not just the whole love triangle situation. It's so much more than this. And yes, there's a romance. You can feel that, like, there's some kind of romance that's going to happen. But all this history and learning about the world and what these word marks mean, and, you know, what these word gates are, and what the connection is to this Eleanor. Is it Eleanor? Oh my god, I just forgot her name. That showed up and told Selena that she has to, like, there's just so much going on, and I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. It's just a lot. And yeah, the thing between Kaol and Dorian and her, and like the banter and like the little snippy bits and like the attraction and stuff, that's really interesting. Like, that's just like a typical romance sort of plot thing. That's fine. But it's just the other stuff on top of that, like the stuff behind it, that we're trying to figure out. Like, there's a mystery. Who's connected to who? What's connected to what? Like, the whole shebang. Like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm only on book 1. Person that I forgot to mention throughout the whole of this is Caltaine. She is one of those people that's just like sleazy, and I really, really despise her. And, you know, I don't wish bad things on many people, but Caltaine can just take a long walk off a short page, you know what I mean? She's one of those people that's just in it for the wealth, in it for the money, in it for just, yeah. Just feels entitled and spoiled, and she's got like some addiction to the pipe. And I mean, no shade for addictions or anything, but I just feel like she's just not someone that I like. Do you know what I mean? And we keep getting little bits from her perspective, and she's like the Duke, like Perrington, I think that's his name, and how like she's promised him in a like not so subtle roundabout way that he'll get something from her if he brings her to these like trials that they're doing or whatever, um, and brings her to the castle. And she's holding out on that, and she's not putting out for him. And I just think it's all very icky in it. It's all bleh. It's like just selling herself, but like not. She's sort of like teasing. It's very weird. But she secretly, or not so secretly, wants Dorian, and I think she's gonna try and get something, like get Selena in trouble for something, so that then she can swoop in and get Dorian. But Dorian clearly is not interested. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh my god, Nehemia is actually not a good person. She's found in the library, reading perfectly, like, advanced text that she shouldn't know how to read, because she only knows Ilwe, and she's not supposed to be fluent in their language. I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on. I need to think. Oh, she's just found word marks under her bed as well. Shit. Hello. I am now on chapter... What chapter am I on? 40. And things are going down. Like, I love Philippa, the maid. I'm hoping that she's actually genuinely a nice maid and nothing happens to her. Because as I keep saying, I forgot what's happened in this book, so, you know, we move. And then dancing with Dorian at the ball was cute, but I wanted to dance with Kaol. And you could tell that Kaol's feelings for her, he just doesn't know how to show them, whereas Dorian is just overly flirty with everyone. So he just shows his feelings all the time. They're very opposite, Kaol and Dorian. Out of both of them, I think I would prefer Kaol, because Dorian's had like loads of ladies in the court and I won't want that. But he kissed her. and she kissed him back, and she's all flushed. And then Kale stood down underneath, watching up, and saw that she was like full of joy and stuff. This may be controversial opinion, but I don't like the fact that she's kissed Dorian, and I don't like the fact that she's swaying more towards Dorian, and that poor Kale's just seen her like going all swoony, dancing around the bedroom because Dorian's just kissed her. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, so she's just told Kane about her being Selena Sardothian and not Lillian? Can't remember what name it's supposed to be, but yeah. And he's just like believed everything and he's just gone. Why did I think Knox was more important in this whole thing? I thought he like saved her, but he's just gone. I forgot that not everyone needed to be there the same way that she needed to be there, and that they could just leave. I'm confused. But also Kane being a demon summoning little thing, and Nehemia magic. That's the secret. She's magic, which was outlawed by the king, which is why she was so secretive. It's all coming together, kind of. What's going on? Oh my god, does Selena know who she is? Like, really? Other than as an assassin? Because she's... They've just done the fight thing, and then it mentioned Kane was trying to, like, bait her in the challenge, and saying, like, you know, talking about her parents. And I thought that she didn't know what happened to her parents. What? Does she know that she's different? What is she? Is she fake? Because Faye keeps getting mentioned. And Elena drew the poison out of her. I remember the Caltaine poisoned though, but I did forget how she recovered from that. And obviously it was because Elena came down and did withdrew it from her. But it's intense. KO! KO's just fucking killed Kane, because Kane was gonna kill Selena. He's like... He's just... What? Right, okay, I've got 34 minutes left. I need to stop breaking off, but... How did I forget all of this that happened? And how do people not like KO? Can someone explain? Because somebody can, like, do things change? Does he become like a nasty person or something? Like, I don't understand why people don't like KO. Is it KO that they don't like? Please explain. Oh my god, more twisty turny things that I missed. The king, I already knew the king was in on it. It's kind of obvious. But the black rings, the controlling of the behaviours, both the king and Perrington have these powers. Yeah, the king's bad magic. I mean, hypocrite or what? This is just book one. Oh god, I'm scared to continue. But it was kind of sweet, I will admit, when Dorian went to see Selena and they were lying in the bed and they were cuddling up and they were being all cutesy, but I still prefer KO. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so Rattle the Stars has just come up. Oh my god, I look like I'm going grey. Is Rattle the Stars like another phrase from somewhere? I don't know. Anyway, well, Selena thanks Elena for saving her, and then Elena says blood ties can't be broken. So Selena and Elena, are they related? This is just making me feel more like she's a descendant of Elena's, and she's at least part Fae. Am I making this up? Am I just making connections that aren't there? I've still got a couple of minutes left, and this is the first book in a 7-book series, I think, or 6-book series, I don't know. Either way, I need brain. Brain is happening, something. I have no coherent thoughts. Well, 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 that was a lot. So, in the end, I'm kind of glad she broke it off with Dorian because she's a King's Champion, but also not a fan of the Dorian-Selena coupling. I'm really not. I don't know why. It just never sat right with me. I never really thought it was something that I would enjoy reading about, so I'm not sure if that ever becomes a thing again, or what. I know that like certain character names are thrown around a lot. I think Rowan is one of them, but I don't know who's paired with who and whatnot. So yeah, I'm sure that's all to come. But it got 5 stars. It got 5 stars the first time round, but I think because I just read it really fast and I just took it all in, and I've read so much between then and now. And I think because I started resigning myself to the fact that I was going to reread it anyway, the important things just totally went out of my head. Like, so many things that I'd forgotten, like, and even some of the little things, like the little Easter eggs that all of the little things that said that you know they're going to be important later on. Just, yeah, I'm just worried that the king, I know, is going to give her some really horrible tasks. Is going to make her do some really horrible things that she's not going to want to do, that are going to torture her brain because he's such an evil person. But I don't know how her relationship with Kale is going to be affected, because although there's nothing romantic with them at the moment, they did sort of like walk off happily, hooking up and like arm in arm, and it was all pally-pally. But he's still the king's guard, and she's still, yeah, she's a king's champion, but she's still an assassin, and she still doesn't really want to be there. And there's still this whole lingering thing between them, and the fact that she did start something with Dorian, and even though it's now ended, there's obviously still going to be some feelings that I don't know what's going to go on with any of this. I have absolutely no idea where it's going to go. I just think that it's going to get way more in depth, and there's going to be so many things that come to the surface and are revealed. And I'm kind of surprised. Nothing in this book made me cry. There were parts where I was just like on the edge of my seat with the whole fighting thing, and when she was poisoned, and obviously I knew she couldn't die because she, like, it's the first book in a series, she's not going to die. But it was like, how is she going to get out of this situation? And everything is still up in the air. So we know that Caltaine was being used, but we know that she's in the dungeons, but they don't want to keep her there. So we don't know what's going to happen with her. Duke Perrington and the king are in like cahoots, and they still don't want Selena around, so they begrudgingly accepted her as the king's champion. But are they going to do some things to sabotage her? Is Duke Perrington going to try and sabotage her in some way? I don't know. And then Dorian, like, I thought he was going to have to get married off to Nehemia, and that still may happen, but it's just all up in the air, isn't it? It's just a lot. And now I just want to crack on with Air of Fire, but in this month I've still got quite a few things to read before the end of the month, and we're on 29th, I think. 30th, 29th. So yeah, I've still got my Trouble on book to read, even though I'm not doing a live for that next month. But I think what I might do is start my spoilery vlog of Chain of Iron now, because why not just go dive into more chaos. So this was my first in a series of Smash Made Me Read It, like Throne of Glass spoilery vlogs. Like I said, depending on how long this vlog is will depend on whether or not this goes up as an individual vlog or whether it goes up along with Air of Fire. But great start once again. Sarah J Maas has just not let me down. Let's see how the rest of the series goes. If you do like me and you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you're here and you want to let me know, hey, if you have anything to say, please leave a black heart. I would appreciate it. And until next time,
Can someone tell me
enjoy.
why? Every time I fall in love, it seems to be at the